This is the state finals right here. This is the next day from the previous bout. This kid was really tough. It was a given I was going to knock him out. The kid, he fought the day before, but he fought some bum, and I saw the fight, and he wasn't that good. I had him a little hurt there. That old boy that said, looks like them heavyweights last night. I knocked his son out, so he was always jawing at me. His son was national champ, too. They were pissed when I knocked him out. This kid was tough. Now watch what he does. And at this point, I drop my hands. I tell him to hit me. I stick my chin out. That one hurt. He should have stopped the fight. He didn't want to go on. Spence was a good referee, but he missed that call right there. And me being me, I just jumped on him and kept trying to hurt him. So now I kick Jeff Wilson's ass. So everybody knows who I am now. A huge target. Then Rod Hulk, who's the toughest guy in the school, hands down, started giving me some static after that. He wanted to beat me up and put me in my place. So at the end of my freshman year, we run into each other downtown, and him and his crew were down there, and they were looking to jump me, so I had to tuck tail and get out of there real quick. And so the next day I went over to the guy's house. The next morning I went over to his house, and yeah, I was ready to go. We're going to fight. I was pissed off. I had to tuck tail and run. He had a bunch of guys with him, and basically I was all by myself. So I go over to his house the next day and knock on his door. He comes right out. It was probably 11 in the morning. Comes right out, and we start going at it right in his driveway. Nothing was really said. He come out. He knew what it was about. I knew what it was about. So he's out there going to box me. So he's circling around. He's circling around me like he's Muhammad Ali. And so I'm scoring up. He's juking at me. Every time he juked at me, I went to counter. So I'm like right on top of him. I'm imposing my will on him. And he's getting scared. He's realizing he can't, he's probably used to juking guys out of their position and then hitting them. And he wasn't doing that to me. So anyway, so I was like, whatever, man. I was like, come on, let's fight. I jumped in, hit him with a left hook, and dropped him. And he goes flying back into his garage door, and he drops down to a knee. And that's when I grabbed him, and I threw him down on the ground. And I got on top of him. I was trying to choke him. I couldn't get under his chin, though, to choke him. I'm pinning him down, I had him by the neck. And so I had, you know, it was kind of a stalemate. I had him there. I really couldn't choke him out. And so I let him up. I was like, come on, you know. I said, come on, motherfucker, let's go. So I let him up. And the little prick gets up and starts running. And so he's really fast. I mean, this guy was fast. And he was a baseball player. So I'm chasing around his own. I chased him around his own house a couple of times. That must have been hilarious. Wish I had that on film. And so he runs into the foyer in his house. He gets a good lead on me. I couldn't even get near the guy. It's Zoom, like Speedy Gonzalez. Runs in the house and comes out with a steel broom. And so it wasn't real, you know, about yay long, one of those metal brooms. And I was like, whatever, man. I was like, I'm gonna walk through that motherfucker, right? So I started squaring up, going at him. And he swung that broom at my head, and it was zoom. It was fast. I mean, he played baseball, so he knew how to swing. And he zipped that by my head real quick, and I was like, holy, I ain't getting hit by that. So I told him, fuck off, and I'd be seeing him later on, man. So I zeked it out. And then after that, a few days later, I'm downtown at the Flushing Fair. And I'm down there with my buddies down on Main Street, and there's, you know, it's a huge thing. There's thousands of people down there, and my mom and dad come down, and they're gonna go down to the bar, and they stop to see what me and my buddies were up to down at the fair. And so we're sitting there talking, and Rod Hulk is across the street with his buddies walking down to the fair, and I point him out, my buddies point him out, hey, there's Rod Hulk, and my parents look at him, and then my mom goes, why don't you go beat him up? Because at that time he was talking about jumping me again with his buddies. He didn't want to fight me straight up, so he had a lot of tough friends, and they're all talking about, you know, putting the boots to me. So my mom's like, hey, you know, go do it, and one-on-one. Instead of letting him jump you at a later date. So I jump up there, I go at him, I start talking some mad smack at him, and the guy gets very passive, got real scared, and I come over, apologized profusely to my parents, shook their hands, and apologized to me. And then after that, it was all gravy. The kid never looked at me after that, never had no static at all. Still don't like the guy to the day. I'd still whoop his ass if I see him today.